With the email verification OTP requested and sent to the user, let's handle how to accept and verify the PIN. To start this, we need a new route. So continuing in the email verification domain, we do so in the route file. Here, we create a post request for the verify path. We then pass an async route handler which will receive the request and response parameters. Now from the body of the request, we destructure the email and OTP values. We then check if any of them are empty. If that's true, we throw an error with an appropriate message. Once they are not empty, we proceed to verify. For this, we create another function in the controller file. This will be a simple listening function and will receive an object containing the email and the OTP values. Now to proceed with the verification, we import the verify OTP function from the OTP domain. This function will ensure that the OTP was generated by our system and hasn't expired yet. Now we get to know whether the OTP is valid by passing the email and OTP to the function. The result will be a boolean, so we can check if it's invalid. If that's true, we throw an error with a message telling the user to check their email for the correct PIN. Once we pass this validation, the email is verified. And this is the point where we can update the user's record to show verified. This will require a few other changes, so we'll come back to it later. Now the OTP record in our database is useless, so we want to delete it. For this, we import the delete OTP function from the OTP domain. Now we delete the OTP by passing the email. At this point, we return, and if any error occurred, we throw it in the catch block. In the export as well, we add the verify function. Now back in the route file, we import the verify function from the controller. Using this function, we pass the email and OTP after checking for the empty values. We then respond to a successful request, passing an object that the email is now verified. If any error was thrown, we send an error response with the error message. Now with the server still up and running in the background, we create a post request in Postman and pass the verify endpoint for email verification. We then set the body of the request to JSON and pass an object of email and OTP. Here, I'm using the value from the received email. If everything is fine, we should receive a response that the email is verified. Now, what you might want to do is to ensure that once the email is not verified, the user cannot log in. This will take a few steps, so we'll do that in the next part. Now we can save and commit the changes in our code and proceed in the next part. Link to the full source code will be in the description.